Hello, and welcome to the Delight Knits podcast, episode 6. Happy New Year. Today is January 2nd of 2022. It has been a long month of December for me. I hope you enjoyed getting to catch up on all of my Vlogmas. I vlogged almost every day from the 1st to the 23rd. I think I did miss one day, and then I did not film on the 24th and 25th as I was spending time with family and just enjoying the moment and not worrying about filming or having to edit the next day or all that. So I hope you enjoyed all of those. I apologize for the messy hair. It's been a lazy few days here at home, and I was not doing it just for podcasting. Let me start off with where you can find me. You can find me on Instagram as delight_knits, or you can find me on Ravelry as Delight Knits, one word. And then you can also email me at delighttknits@gmail.com. And I will have all of those linked down below in the description, as well as everything that I talk about. I do work really hard to make sure that I get all of those links in, because I know it's nice to have as a viewer. I love it when podcasters put all that information there, because it's easy. It makes it easier on them for people asking questions, and it's just easy to go and see what they're talking about and purchase that yarn or project bag or notion or whatever they're talking about. So Happy New Year. I hope everybody had a great end to the 2021 year and is looking forward to the 2022 year coming up. I know I am. So just to kind of wrap up Vlogmas, I had a lot of short videos because I mean, life is life. You wake up, you go to work, you come home, cook dinner, put your kids to bed, and you go to bed. With some knitting thrown in there. I am lucky enough that me and my husband work in the same town, so we carpool together, and it's about a 30-minute drive one way, and so I get to knit for 30 minutes on the way to work and 30 minutes on the way home from work. Sometimes I will get to knit on my lunch break, so I did get a fair amount of knitting done. I finished 2 pairs of socks that were Christmas gifts throughout Vlogmas that you saw, and I'll talk about and show pictures as I don't have them anymore. I did do kind of a weekly podcast update just to show you what I had been working on and to help beef up my Vlogmas stuff. And then I also showed you my yarn stash. I thought that was pretty cool. The mini section did get cut off, but it was really just the different 10 gram minis that I had dyed myself for testing colors for certain projects. And I haven't used those. I don't plan on it. I think I had mentioned that maybe next year I'll do an advent stripe sock and just pull from the bag and knit that sock or that stripe into a sock. And I think that's a great idea, so they may stay until December of this year. The biggest thing that happened in December for me around the 20th was that I finished the Fascination Shawl sample. So that kind of goes into FOs for me. So I did finish the big project that I was working on for all of November and December, which was the Fascination Shawl sample knit that I did for Addison of Ruby and Rose's yarn. It was knit out of her kit with Unbreakable Vow and Golden Hour. If you go back to my Vlogmas day 20, and I think it says Fascination Shawl complete, or it has Fascination Shawl in the title, but I have good video of that finished project. It is not blocked as Addie wanted to block it herself, which I completely understand. but you do get a look of that finished object. Let's see, and then the other thing that I kind of did was I showed y'all my yarn dyeing tool supplies stash, which is a little different than what other people have, which I thought it was interesting. I hope you liked that. But I hope Vlogmas was fun this year for y'all. It was definitely a chore to video and vlog and edit all of that stuff. But I think going forward, I still want to do it because with kids, it's another way to film those memories and keep them on the web. Store. You only have so much storage on your phone. So it's a way to share those memories with my kids. Well, currently. I will have my second baby in February. So next year we'll have 2 little ones running around. Hi, Lily. Sorry, the dogs are inside because it's 20 degrees and this one hates being cold. And my daughter is sleeping, so. Okay, lay down. Go lay down. So my Fascination shawl was my first finished object, and then I've got 4 others. Okay, dogs. Go. Go. Go lay in your bed. So I've got 4 other finished objects outside of that Fascination shawl. So one I talked about were the black and rainbow striped socks that I knit for my sister Megan. I know I showed those off on one of the Vlogmases, and I will insert a picture. I'll see if I can insert one like right above here. I'm trying out, or throughout Vlogmas, I've tried out a new editing app, and I think I am going to purchase the year-long subscription for it. So we'll see. And then I also finished a second pair for her for Christmas, and that was the black and the primary color socks. So they were black. Actually, I have the leftovers of that here. Out of this color that I dyed myself. So I finished those, and I'll insert a picture here, or try to insert a picture as well. She loved them and was excited to receive them. My 4th finished object was one that I have had on the needles for quite some time, and I had showed y'all in one of the last Vlogmas and said I'd be so excited to finally get to work on that. And it is my Like a Cloud cardigan. So the last time you saw it, I was at the white progress keeper here. So I finished all the way down to the bottom. That's where I started my ribbing so I could measure easily. And it is done. Ends are woven in. All I have to do is block it, which I was kind of waiting because I want to take the stitch marker or progress keepers off. But I wanted to show y'all how much progress I had made before I did that. So I will block that as soon as I get done with this podcast. I'm so excited to be able to wear that. I mean, today it's it is 25 degrees outside today. It's finally cold enough to wear it. So I'm hoping I can get it blocked and put a couple fans on it and get it dried and wear it one day this week to work, as we're headed back to work this week. That is knit out of Ruby and Rose's yarn. It is knit with driftwood on soft rose and common ground on delicate rose, which is the mohair. So fingering mohair held together. It is the Like a Cloud cardigan by Locatelli. I knit the smallest size. And I think if I did make any changes, I don't think I did, but I would have put them in my Ravelry project page, which will be linked. I know I knit it on the recommended needles. But here, let's see if I can put it on for you real quick. So it will block out a little bit longer than what it is here. And I am sitting on the floor in my bedroom behind or outside of a window, so I'm not going to be able to stand up much, but it's a great length, and it comes down, let's see, it comes down and hits, big belly there, hits about here, right above my butt, and it should get another inch or two. It'll be perfect. So I am excited to get this into rotation of my wardrobe. And then the last, let me switch this out. And get this jacket back on, because as I said, it's 20 degrees and I'm sitting right next to a window. I mean, I just touched the window there without any, it's pretty cold. Okay, my last finished object was the fall socks that I had started way back when, and when Megan said she wanted Christmas socks, I took these off the needles and started her socks, and then I got back to mine. So I did these out of Daisy Stitch Co. One of a kind colorway that she had for sale a while back. I called them my fall socks because I cast them on back in October. Although it's still kind of fall here in Arkansas. So they are a 64, I cast on 64 stitches, long tail cast on. Did a knit 2, purl 2 for 20 rounds, knit 50 rounds, did a heel flap and gusset. And then I did 70 rows to the toe, including the gusset decreases. And then for the toe, I decreased every other round from the 32 each needle to 20 each needle, and then decreased every round to 10 each needle, and then Kitchener the toe. And I like that fit. I'm recently trying that one. I think it'll fit great. But here's that. So since I have a new acquisition that I showed off on Vlogmas of my sock blockers, let's throw that on there. I have not blocked these yet. I probably won't. But look at that pooling. It like spiraled around. It's pretty cool. Sadly, it's on the side of the foot. Most of it's on the bottom of the foot though. So there's that one. And then there is this one. So that one has like no pooling, and that side has a little bit more pooling. You can tell this is the second sock because there's not as much color in it. But that's fine, I love them. They'll be great addition to my sock collection. So those are all of my finished objects for the month of December, since I didn't really do a formal podcast all month since I was doing Vlogmas. I do have my show notes in front of me, which is why I keep looking down. So for works in progress, I have 2. So my first one is with the leftovers that I had shown you from one of Megan's pair of socks. I was at work and I was at work going to work, one of the two. And I finished Megan's socks, and I was like, what do I do now? I have nothing to knit on. I did not expect to finish those socks. Well, I had all these leftovers, and so I was like, well, I'll just cast on a yarn cozy. And so I kind of am just making it up as I go. I did the pinhole cast on that like and increases just like the muscle burrow hat calls for. And I've been measuring it like against a cake of yarn. I'll probably do 2 or 3 more increases to where I'll have 4 sections of however many. I think I'm at like 25, or it'll be around 25. And then I'll do ribbing all the way around and then bind off in an I-cord. So that way I can just have a yarn cozy. and enjoy that. So I did, because I did not have anything with me, I did use my sock needles. So these are a ChowGoo. This is getting to be a mess. These are the ChowGoo 2mm 40-inch cable. These are another acquisition I'll talk about later. And then I've just got that in my little makeup bag / project bag because I don't wear makeup. Just with my needles and the leftover yarn that I'm using. I'll still have plenty of leftover yarn. But that was just an emergency. I need something to work on. And I didn't want to do socks for another pair of socks. I just wanted something I can literally pick up and throw down whenever I want. And I will keep, when I finish that, and add it to my Ravelry project page, which I'll probably do here soon before this gets posted. I'll add my notes of what I've done so you can copy it too if you want. I mean, it's just fairly easy. My second cast on is one I've talked about for quite some time, wanting to cast on. This is the Salem Sweater by Tristan Molina of Dragon Horde Yarn. Ooh. So, let's see. So I've just finished the first set of raglan increases. You can see the cable that will pattern that'll go down the sleeve right there. I do have this on magic loop-ish. It's getting close to where I shouldn't have to do magic loop. You can see that there. I've got a bobble on each side. She's got some pretty interesting short rows that cross and the front, and I've never really seen before. I cast this on yesterday. My daughter took like a 3.5 hour nap. My husband went into work to help move some furniture around. And so this is what I got done yesterday, and it's awesome. Great lazy day. Super excited to get this one cast on and started, as it counts for the Crazy Cabled Sweater Cowl, but hosted by Sock Witchery and the Crazy Sock Lady. And so I was going to cast that one on no matter what, and I'm super pumped that it qualifies to be in that cowl. That'll help me. It runs from January to July, which should definitely be enough time for me. That I am knitting out of some Suburban Stitcher mohair. This is a bronze oopsie that she had. I only caked up 2 because for my Like a Cloud, I only used like 2 skeins of mohair. Yet I had all 3, so I could alternate skeins. But I think I'm just gonna try the 2, and I'll cake this up if I need it. I did cake up all 3 of the fingering, but this cake's a mess. And there's something there. This is some yarn that I dyed. It's an 80/20 base. It is speckled with like the teddy bear brown and the sand dune, and I think the yarn is from Wool to Die For. But I'm loving that held together. It turns out really great. I am knitting these on some high sharps. They're 3.5mm. My local yarn store, Knit Unto Others in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, they only hold high sharps. They don't have the ChowGoo. I'd prefer the ChowGoo. These are really sharp and hurt my fingers if I poke it just right. But that's what I've got, or they had, and so that's what I've got. And then I used a 2.5 ChowGoo to do the ribbing. So I had to gauge down 1 needle size, which isn't a big deal. I did gauge swatch. Let me see if I still have that. There's a half done. I mean, I gauge swatched. So the purl rows where I switched, I did a little bit and measured, and it was in the round. I did not cut them, as I'm afraid I might run out of yarn. And if you cut this, you're kind of not able to get anything out of it. So if I need to, I can use this again. I did block it. and the 3.5 was perfect. If it turns out a little smaller, that's okay, because it's a ton of positive ease. But it's all wrinkled because I had it folded up in my project bag here. Let's see what else about this yarn. I think that's about it about that project. Oh, all the stitch markers that are, I've got 8 of these, and I'm using 7 of them because I'm using a different beginning of round. They are from Sassafras Knits. Rochelle, I think, is her name. I love her stuff. I've got a few others, but that's where those are from. And then my beginning of round is just an angel that I had to kind of separate that out. And then to mark my cable charts, or just these locking stitch markers. Don't remember where I got that angel from. And all of this is being held in my new bag that I got for Christmas from By the Bay Bag Co. And so it's just a little box bag. You can see it's all just sitting in there nicely. There's 2 pockets on the inside. I've got my chapstick in here. I've got my swatch and the other yarn labels in here. And then there's 2 pockets on the outside, which I've got my headphones case in. So I am loving those. And then I do have extra needles. I have both of these sets in here because I needed this to cast on with the 2.5. I had a 16-inch 2.5, so I didn't have to do magic loop for that, which was awesome. And then this has my 3.5 that I can put on a 9 or 10-inch circular to do sleeves, so I'm excited for that. That'll be my first time being able to use that for sleeves. Then I've got my paper pattern, and then just the rest of my notions. But that's all I've got knitting wise going on. I do have a few more acquisitions or gifts that I was given. The rest of the things that are going in that bag is I purchased a little fox measuring tape. So it's got the inches and centimeters. When I was in Houston visiting my grandparents, we got up and went and had breakfast, and then I had already finished my cardigan, and all I had was the fall socks, and I was like, I've got 3-hour drive from Houston to Dallas, or 3.5, 4-hour drive from Houston to Dallas, and then another 3.5-hour drive from Dallas to Arkansas, and I was already done with one sock, and I was like, I'm gonna finish that other sock, and then I have nothing to knit on. So I went to a yarn store. I think it was the Pearly Girls yarn store in Old Town Spring in Spring, Texas, down in the Houston area. So I bought that fox measuring tape, and then I also bought this skein of yarn to cast on for socks. They kicked it up at the store. It's a little messy. It's been sitting in a bag. But it is Hedgehog Fibers sock yarn. So they had this, and I had them cake it up for me as well. And it is Birthday Cake is the skein, and it is a 90% merino, 10% nylon. So I've never had a 90-10 base, but this store, the Pearly Girls yarn shop, did not have many options with nylon in it that didn't have cashmere. I mean, I was looking for sock yarn, didn't want anything else. I may make this a muscle burrow. It may be a good muscle burrow, but I was looking for sock yarn specifically, and they didn't have much that wasn't 100% merino. So I still found some that I liked and enjoyed it. It was fun seeing another yarn store. Another thing that I've received, but I have shown these on one of my Vlogmases. I got them at our first Christmas with my husband's father and stepmother. Whereas I got a big package of these safety pins, And so I can get my progress keepers and stitch markers organized and have just a few in each bag. So this is in my sock bag. I've got this progress keeper, and all 3 of these are from Sassafras Knits. So I've got that in this sock bag. But I got a huge bag of them. And so I would love to increase and grow my progress keeper stash this year. So I don't have that many. So I've got those. I already showed you the metal sock blockers. So I got all of those from my stepmother-in-law and father-in-law during that Christmas. And then I got the Green by the Baco bag, as well as some Tuft woolens, hand balm. It's been sitting in a project bag, some chai spice. I love this stuff. I was super excited to get a second one. I also got the bath bar or body bar and the chai spice as well. And I have that in my bathroom, and I'm excited to start using that. And then she also got me another project bag. It's covered in dog hair because I'm sitting on the floor. But I got this nice little drawstring bag. It's got 4 pockets on the front. Here, it's got 2 pockets on the inside. I mean, this is huge. I immediately moved my Like a Cloud over here into this before it was finished. Hi, Jenny. It's huge. Hi, Jenny. Lay down. It is a drawstring bag. It's still kind of, because it's canvas, it's tough. And then it's got these 2, but I love it. I haven't been using it that much because I wanted to use my green one. And I don't have any other projects on the needles. So I plan on putting some yarn in that for my long summer cardigan that I plan on starting eventually. Let's see. My mom got me some sock blockers as well. It's a 2-pack. And these are the ones that you can actually like change the sizes on. I haven't used them yet because I need to be able to string yarn or string through this, or probably scrap yarn. I mean, I am a knitter, to get these stable so it'll stay. But I'm super pumped to have 2 pairs of sock blockers now. So I can take pictures for Ravelry and Instagram, and it'll look nicer, and they hang up and dry quicker. So super happy about that. My mom also got me some more knit blockers that I asked for because 1 set is not enough. So this is my 2nd set. I figured that out with my excuse me, with my shawlography. 1 set was not enough, so here is my 2nd set. Sorry about that. Had a little coughing fit. Have not been 100% here these last few days. So I left off with, I think, the knit blockers. My mom also got me some Cocoa Knit stitch stoppers, which you saw on a couple projects, or 1 project there. Ginny, lay down. Lay down. You're fine. Lay down. Needy animals. Let's see. So there's a couple of them. There we go. There's even more smaller sizes. So I've been excited to try those out and put them to good use. They're perfect for my 9-inch circulars, and as this sweater gets bigger, I'm sure I will use them for that as well. If I don't make a mess of them everywhere right now. I probably need to get put those in my notions bag. Okay, I'll just set those there. I also received the payment yarn for my sample from Ruby and Rose's yarn from Addie before Christmas. Sorry for the crinkling. I'm going to get it out of the package So I had asked for, this is yarn that is payment for knitting her the Fascination shawl sample. So I've got 2 skeins of each of these. So 2 skeins of Sangria. And this is on her soft rose base, which is an 85-15 merino nylon with 437 yards per 100 grams. And I also got 2 skeins of Mirror. That's one of those little things. Which is just a soft gray on her fragrant rose base because she didn't have it available on the soft rose. Which is a 80-10-10 merino nylon, cashmere nylon. And it's 435 yards for 100 grams. So only a 2-yard difference. They are both 4-ply. So I plan on using these together for the newspaper pullover by Locatelli. My queue has a lot of Locatelli in it. And so I'm super excited to start that. Okay, so I was showing off this mini so Addie of Ruby and Rose's yarn is moving in the next month or 2. And she is having a sale to clear out some inventory to not have to move as much, which I completely understand. So her entire inventory is 20% off. I think her Instagram has the coupon code and she posts about it fairly often. I think the coupon code is moving sale. I'll confirm it and try to put some words on the screen maybe up here. But be sure to check out her Instagram. She said she is including a free mini in most, if not all, of her orders that come in. She has gorgeous yarn. I know she's planning on discontinuing some of her colorways. So make sure you check her out. It's gorgeous yarn. It's totally worth it. I know, I love it. I've got plenty of it because I've done 3 sample knits for her and this year, and I'm hoping to be able to continue that in the future. And so, I believe, let me check my list. It looks like that is all that I received and purchased throughout the month of December. I did receive a gift card from my grandparents that I used to purchase that Hedgehog Fibers yarn and Fox measuring tape. I did use some more of that to purchase a few different notions. I'd like to have a little notions bag in each of my project bags. Right now I only have this one that holds everything. And so I would like to be able to have multiple that I can just switch out. So I've got some little makeup bags that I think are half this size. I've got some little snips. I do not have a pair of little snips. I'm super excited to be ordering some of those. They're just off Amazon. I got a pack of measuring tapes similar to the Fox one, but they're just different colors. That's it. And then some darning needles. And so that's all should be in within the next week, so I'll show those off on the next podcast when they do come in. But it is a new year. My yarn budget that me and my husband, it's our hobby money that we set aside each year for ourselves, has replenished. I won't tell you how much it is. There's no need for that. But I do have plenty of money to spend on yarn this year, but I also want to stash down, or not necessarily stash down, but use my stash. I've got 3 sweaters quantities that I want to knit. I want to knit those sweaters so bad. And then I've got plenty of yarn that I can use for socks for my portable projects until then. So, and yarn that I want to dye with as well. So I've got plenty to do and to use up before I plan on spending that money. We'll see if I even need all of it this year. I said that last year, and I spent it all. But, so this last month has just been a lot of traveling, for Christmas and seeing family. I had not seen my paternal grandparents since Christmas of last year, and so it was awesome to go get to see them in the Houston area. My daughter obviously hadn't seen them since Christmas either. Christmas of 20 either. And she had a blast getting to see them. She's finally out of that super duper shy, I only want mommy stage. Sorry about that. She's finally out of that super shy around other people, I only want mommy stage, and actually got to actually talked and spent time with them, which I was so happy about, with all the driving we did to go see them. She had an absolute blast at Christmas with my in-laws. My husband's parents are divorced, so we had two Christmases on his side, and she had an absolute blast with both of those and her cousins. And then at my family's, she's one of two cousins out of all my siblings, and she had an absolute blast. Then she just loves hanging out with my sisters and my mom and my brother even. She talked my brother's ear off. It was hilarious. I mean, just toddler talk too, so nobody could understand her. It was funny. She loved, I think on the last Vlogmas I posted, we were baking cookies. So I just got like the roll of cookie dough and added flour to it, and we did cookie cutters, and she absolutely loved that. The next morning on Christmas Eve, we did decorate those cookies with icing. She loved that even more. She was covered in icing. She loved eating it. I mean, I didn't get the right colors because I'd waited too late to buy it, and I got like pink and red and black and white. And so, of course, she chooses the black, and her face is just black, and her tongue is just black. Oh, it was fantastic. If I have a little video, I'll add it to the end. But we did get home, I think it was the 28th or the 29th on Thursday. The days are all running together. And we have had very lazy days since. Today's Sunday, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and today we've had lazy days, and it's just been great. We've gotten a few things done each day, but mainly lazy days, and it's lots of much needed time at home. We don't have any upcoming plans to go anywhere. I've told my husband we're not traveling in January. We do need to put up the swing set we got my daughter for Christmas, but we need help with that. And then it's just getting ready for baby in February. So I hope everybody has had a great, relaxing start to their new year, and had a great December and holiday season. And I think that's all I have to talk about. So wish you well.